Hello, everyone. Welcome to May's Roundtable. My name is Esmeralda Bonk, and I am the Assistant Council Commissioner for Roundtable. And my partners, starting with the young lady with me.
Is that me?
That would be you.
I'm Beth Hayden. I am the Assistant Roundtable Commissioner, and this is about my third roundtable. So we'll see how it goes.
Doing amazing. Woo,
And I'm Stephen Schmelzer, another Roundtable Commissioner. I don't even pretend to count anymore.
woo. That's okay. Two. Okay. All right, let's move on. Please prepare yourself for the Scouts oath, the pledge, oath, law. As soon as I admit this next person in. All right, here we go.
Those in uniform, please salute. Those who are not, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Thank you. All right.
Those in uniform.
All right. So we have our Scout prayer. Steve, take it away.
Oh, I got everything in my way. Our Scout prayer is a Scout's prayer. Everybody, please make yourselves ready in the fashion that you are accustomed to. A Scout's prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day. Help us to do our best every day and forgive us when we slip. Teach us to be kind to other people and to help them at all times. Bless our parents and teachers and leaders and all the members of Scouting. Bless us, Lord, in your love for us. Help us to be a better Scouts and let us do our best for you. Amen.
Thank you. All right. So as always, we commissioners are your number one source of all information about Scouting. So, which means we need help. Beth answered to the call. Yay! But we still need more help. We are looking for someone who is very well versed in the Cub Scout program. Not super I mean, if they're not like guru, that's okay. We need someone who is already in the Cub Scout program that can help facilitate a lot of the Cub Scout breakouts. So if you or someone you know is interested or you think would be a good fit for our team, please send them our way. We're also trying to create a team so eventually we could start running a hybrid roundtable in the future. Or just simply, if you want to become part of the roundtable team, give one of us a call, Beth, myself, or Steve.
Cool. We get paid lots.
Oh, yeah. We get an extra zero. Moving on. Scout law.
So point this time is obedience. And that's kind of an interesting one sometimes because it's kind of like you want me to just do whatever you say without thought. But I thought this quote expressed it well. Obedience is the mother of success and is wedded to safety. And that's from ancient Greece, actually. So when we think about obedience, when it comes to things like range and target sports, it makes sense of why we need to be obedient.
Great example. Thank you. Info minute. That's you again.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Is there another next slide?
Well, it is for outdoor ethics.
Oh, there we go. Okay. That's what I need. Okay. So we have, just as an FYI, this is an award that Scouts BSA can earn. There's also one for adventuring. It's very similar. So we can all read. Here's some examples of what you would need to do to earn that. Summertime is a great time to start learning and earning these things. So there's an awareness award and there's also an action award, which you have to earn the awareness one first to earn the action one. There's also a Scouter action award, so leaders can earn it as well. And we can give you the link to how you can earn these outdoor ethics awards. And then for Cub Scouts, there's also the Cub Scouts Outdoor Activity Award. So we wanted to mention that one, especially because one of the requirements for all ranks is to attend a Cub Scout either day camp or resident camp. So if you don't do that, then you can't get the award. So it's a good time to make sure you're registered for that and follow all of the other requirements listed at the link that we'll give you, and you can earn that Outdoor Activity Award.
Membership minute. That's you, Melissa.
Okay, so for our membership minute today, I am not seeing, are you sharing this presentation as, or am I missing it? Did we lose that?
Did we lose a presentation? No, we're still in presentation mode.
Why
Okay.
am I not seeing it? How weird. There we go. Anyway, so for this membership minute, we're talking about the new member coordinator network. So we kicked off just over a month ago, and it was a fantastic meeting on April 10th. And since then, we've gotten some great resources out there for you. So there's a lot of collaboration going on between new members, coordinators across the council. We are always looking for more people to come join us so we can help you and you can help everybody else, and we can all work together to support our recruiting and retention resources. But right now, two of the ideas that came out of there were, the first one is buddy cards. And so that one is, I just posted to the Facebook, Roundtable Facebook, and it is out as well on our resources page. So let me get the URL for that and put it in the chat. And you can go out to the Rainbow Council website. And there's our recruitment and retention resources. I put our screenshot on the slide there. There's a lot of great stuff out there, including the buddy cards. And the buddy cards are a free resource. Every unit is allowed up to 100 cards a year for their event. So you can download the form, fill it out, send it back to me, and we'll get it printed for you for free on heavy cardstock, up to 100 cards. So if you wanted to use 10 for this event and 50 for that event, you can mix and match all year round for your buddy cards, so your scouts can invite one of their friends to one of your upcoming events. The form is also available for you to just download if you want to print 1,000 of them for yourself. Also on the page is a button to have us promote your event. So if you've got a recruiting event coming up this summer or this coming fall, push the button. There's a form you can fill out, and we'll help us help you get stuff onto the Rainbow Council official Facebook pages and social media sites. We can create a public event for you, help you with all of your social media advertising, create resources you can use, as well as we will promote it on our pages. So this is a great resource, completely free for units. Push the button, tell us about your events so that we can help sharing your information. And then the last thing that came out of it is there was some good chatter on this. We would love more. We're trying to engage our board in helping with recruitment and retention. And one of the best ways they've offered to help is they want to buy a prize, and we want to raffle it off to our recruiters this coming fall. So sky's the limit, dream big. What would the #1 prize that would get your scouts to recruit a friend? And we will have a drawing, and I don't know if it's going to be one for Cubs and one for older youth, or just one giant prize. Some of the ideas that have been passed around is, a free year of scouting, camping at RSR, climbing tower, a Switch 2, a TV, a gaming truck event. I also heard iFly for the scout and their new recruit, so indoor skydiving. So think about it. Ask your kids, please, because we're getting a lot of opinions from adults. I would love to hear what's going to get the kids. I think a lot of our Cub Scouts are more willing to ask their friends. So this is a question for what's going to get those older youth to go to school or go to the park and ask their friends to come to scouting. So you can email me at membership@rainbowcouncil.org anytime if you've got ideas, or there is a whole chat going on Facebook that you're welcome to join in in the conversation.
Just to clarify, this is also for venturing as well, right? I'm
sorry. Yes, it is for venturing as well. So yes, our venturers and our older youth in crews, in venturing crews, Explorer Posts, Scouts BSA troops, what do they want? Please ask them. And our Cub Scouts, what do they want? Please ask them as well. What's going to, because there's a lot of things the parents have a lot of ideas of what would get them kids motivated, but what do your kids really want? So don't have a deadline on this yet, but get those ideas, get them coming so that we can get something purchased and start advertising to our units that we have this amazing prize. So start recruiting.
Awesome. So you guys all know, you have any more questions, you always ask Melissa. She knows everything.
No.
She finds the resources that you will require. How's that?
Yep. And I've got my email in the chat. So if anybody has any suggestions or membership questions in general, it's on there. It's also on the top of the resources page that I linked.
Awesome. Thank you. Homesickness is
actually, as I would like to go backwards to that info minute because we missed some things on info minute.
Okay.
All right. So on May 18th, there's Range Master training. If you would like to become a Range Master, and that would be to help out with BB, archery, slingshot, tomahawk. And that's to do at camp and to help out at day camp. And to also help out at camp. That is May 18th, and May 30th to June 1st is Wapicon Lodge's Spring Fellowship. It's open to all members. And then we have June 7th is the class of 2024 Eagle Scout Luncheon. And the Eagle and Summit Award Banquet, which is coming up very soon, only has 11 out of 60 Eagles registered to go to this event. Just throw that out there to people. If you are Eagle Scout, Cassandra Archer sent an email to the Key 3 earlier today with all this information in there. So don't just blow it off. It's in your email. It's right here.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Yep. All right. Now we can go to safety moment, homesickness.
Homesickness.
All right. So many scouts experience homesickness in many different types of ways, right? During, especially during campouts. And campouts, I feel, are like, to me, a campout is just like a 1, maybe 2-nighter. And it's a great way to introduce a young scout into camping who has probably never camped or been away from their parents ever in their life. All right. So they could experience homesickness, and some of the ways that we could help identify that for ourselves as leaders, right? We're going to identify, they're going to feel anxious. They're going to probably separate themselves from everybody else. Unless you have a severely introvert scout like my troop does, who likes to be by himself. And so one of us always has to be watching him. They might get depressed before camp and everything like that. Some of the key takeaways from the safety moment of homesickness, which is also in the scouting safety, health and safety moments. I will put the link to this one in the chat shortly. But take the campers on a pre-camp out. Instead of just slapping them right into summer camp for a week, where they, all of a sudden they can't call mom and dad every day. Take them on a little weekend. Maybe just a one-nighter, a couple of one-nighters to introduce them into how camping works. Make sure that all scouts are included in the planning phase. It helps them feel better, like their thought matters. Their view matters. Address any fears of hazing or bullying. If a scout tells you that something's happening, please address it right away. Make everybody feel part of the group, right? By the end of it, every scout should feel comfortable and safe at every outing. And, by feeling comfortable and safe, in my humble opinion, eventually they'll get over their homesickness. But sometimes it takes a little bit longer for scouts to get over it. Just be prepared. Summer camp is coming up, and day camp and resident camp. I think I got them all.
All the camps. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, please refer to all the safety moments they're also located on the BSA website. So, all right. New to our roundtable is we're going to start presenting some things on how to support our scouts who need a little extra love. And here we have Sheila to help us out.
Hello. So I'm going to talk about sensory overload. What is sensory overload? It occurs like when the brain is overwhelmed by sensory input, and this could be hearing, like if it's too loud, sight, smell, touch, taste, and all that could happen if you just think about being in the dining hall during a meal like summer camp. It's very overwhelming. The sounds could trigger like a child to unconsciously have a fight or flight response from that sensory overload. So how to recognize it? A child could become irritable, like emotional with like anger or like shaking, sweating, panicking, anxiety, all that. And it's usually like at that point, you would need to ask them to, take a deep breath, stay in the moment. We're just going to focus on the present moment to reduce anxiety and to reduce the overthinking. And so the deep breaths will help them to calm down. And then we could find out from the scout if it's too loud. They cover in their ears. Like that's gonna like a sure sign that they're having sensory input that it's too loud. So there's also a thing called stimming, and that's what children with or anyone with autism will do. And that's like a coping mechanism to keep calm. And that could be from like shutting out unwanted sensory input. Like my daughter, if it's too bright or she's done with the whole event, it's just too overwhelming what's going on in the room, she'll take a blanket and put it over her head. And like there's kids will put a shirt over their head just because they need to like kind of bring it back and center themselves. There could be a repetitive motion that they're doing, which sometimes I feel like adults might be trying to get them to stop. Like if they're moving in a constant, and that constant movement might not because they're trying to be irritating, but they're actually trying to calm themselves down because they're overwhelmed in the moment. Motion and noises, fidgeting. So I've heard a lot about sensory boxes, the like fidgets that will help a child. So how else can we help? Being patient and understanding in the moment. If you feel like a child won't stop moving during flags, or they won't stop moving during your speech, there might be an issue that they're overwhelmed in some way. And there's ways that children could be overstimulated in all these sensories that could be happening throughout the day. And at that time they're with you is when they're kind of finally showing that they need to center themselves. So the fidgeting, we could just be understanding if they're a little, trying to move. We could create a calm environment and reduce the stimuli. So like say you see some child that's having a problem with the volume in the dining hall, covering their ears, they could step away and so that they could center themselves. So that's it.
What kind of conversations what kind of questions can we ask to clarify to the youth to really make sure that it is a sensory overload versus I don't want to be here?
Yeah. I think that they would be honest.
Okay.
Like if it is like it's too loud or I'm hot, like being hot, like the sweaty, the sticky feeling, the sandy feeling could make them be overloaded, their brain be overloaded to that trigger where they want to go home. Like that homesickness, it kind of goes along with it. All those things could trigger them to be like, I want to go home right now. And it could just be that they're hot or that they need to drink some water, because these types of responses could also make you be dizzy. And so it's kind of like that panic and anxiety feeling. And so I think it's just having a direct conversation with them. Like, is there something right? Like, how are you feeling? Take a deep breath. Let me know, and if they're like, I can't sit still and I don't know why. There are a lot of kids I think that are being, that it can advocate for themselves if you just talk to them.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of things you were saying sounded like what Steve was saying with homesickness is, what kind of questions can we ask to really help differentiate between homesickness and the oversensory things.
And the thing is that too is that it could be the reason why they want to go home. Mm-hmm. Is because that it's over, like they're overwhelmed, overloaded. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just taking a like deep breath. If you notice a scout needs water, if they need hydration, or they're sticky, it's like, why are they sticky? They haven't showered in 8 days, like that kind of thing.
Hopefully they'd be showering like in 2 days.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anyone has any questions or needs some extra support, you can always reach out to Sheila. and she'll be a great resource for you. All right, moving right along. Another thing that we're going to start adding is a little bit of some training information. This just came out from National, so if most of you may or may not know, currently the national meeting for scouting is happening right now. And we were just informed that there is going to be some changes for YPT. More information will be coming tomorrow. So this is what we know so far. Safeguarding youth training will be annually. And there was some chatter coming around going, hey, is it going to go annually? Is it still every 2 years? It is going to be annually now. It will be shorter. It'll be a refresher course that will be about 15 minutes versus taking the entire training that we've been doing up to this point. As with current YPT, volunteers must complete before registering. Your current training is good for 1 year. So right now, if you look on your training on your dashboard and it says I took mine not too long ago and it says 2026. Well, it's good for a year. Okay. But more information will be out. We'll probably hit this again in August, but keep checking in with the Rainbow Council webpage, our Roundtable Facebook page, and all other social medias that we have to get out the information as soon as possible. And most likely, our communications team at Council will be pushing this out as well. So keep an eye out for it. Check your spam. Don't want anybody laughs because, those training people are having all these incentive things, and some of our units want to have some of that great incentive prizes. So keep it up. Moving right along, our general topic is, there's two actually, and they kind of coincide with each other. It's just a reminder of your Scouter Code of Conduct. As you signed your application for adults, you actually sign the Code of Conduct. So just as a reminder, you are promising to do the following as an adult leader. That you will complete your registration with Scouting America and answer all questions truthfully and honestly. You will do your best to live the Scout oath and law and obey all laws, holding others in Scouting accountable for those standards. Okay. You will also make the protection of youth a personal priority. Let me go back. You will make the protection of youth your personal priority by completing youth protection training and become familiar with the Scouting America protection policy and guidelines, including mandatory reporting, guide to safe scouting, and the safe checklist. When transporting scouts, you're going to obey all laws, as well as making sure that youth protection guidelines are followed. You respect and abide the rules and regulations of Scouting America, which include but not limited to unauthorized fundraising activities, advocacy on social and political issues, including prohibited use of Scouting America's uniform and brand, bullying, hazing, harassment, and unlawful discrimination of any kind. You're not going to engage in any form of sexual conduct while engaged in Scouting activities. You will refer Scouts with questions regarding these topics to their parents or spiritual advisors. You will confirm that you will fully disclose and will disclose in the future any of the following: suspicion of criminal suspicion, charges or conviction of crimes or offenses, including abuse, violence, sexual misconduct, or any misconduct involving minors and juveniles, any investigation or court order involving domestic violence, child abuse, or similar manner. Some people don't realize that this is what you're signing. Any criminal charges or conviction of offenses involving controlled substances, driving while intoxicating, firearms, and discourage dangerous weapons. You will not possess, distribute, transport, consume, or use any of the following items prohibited by law or in violation of any Scouting rules, regulations, and policy. This includes alcoholic beverages or controlled substance. This includes marijuana, concealed or unconcealed firearms, fireworks or explosive, pornography, or materials containing words or images inconsistent with Scout values. If you're taking prescription medication with the potential of impairing your judgment, your function or judgment. You will not engage in activities that would put scouts at risk, including driving. You will take the steps to prevent and report any violations of the code of conduct by others in connection with scouting activities. So that's a lot to take in. The reason why this is kind of coincide is because we need to also look at the new uniform policy. Many people do not realize that there is a new uniform policy. All in all, the big takeaway is no one is to be policing the youth's uniform or attire. No one is to be policing the youth uniform or attire. All uniform discussions must be made between adults. So if you as an adult have an issue with a youth's attire, you are not to address it. The only reason you would address a youth directly is because it is in a direct violation of their safety in immediate danger. That's the only time you ever address uniform and attire with a youth. Have these conversations with the youth unit leader or the person in charge of the activity. Other than that, no one should be policing it. Got it? Okay. Some further information about the new uniform policy will be posted on a link, as well as what the code of conduct looks like. Okay. All right. If there's any questions, we will have an open question and answer at the end of all of this. So now, our topic for this roundtable is summer camp, day camp, resident camp, Weevil camp, whatever camp you want to call it. And with us is Kyle Rand, who is going to be hopefully starting this conversation about what should we be expecting at camp? What's new? What's different? What should we bring? What should we not bring?
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you to Beth and Esmeralda and the Roundtable team for having me this evening. I'm going to briefly run through all of these topics on the slides here. And if anybody has any questions or anything that comes up along the way, I am more than happy to answer. As was mentioned, I am the program director at RSR this summer, gearing up for a very exciting summer. But anyway, getting into it, visitor rules. Visitors are more than welcome and encouraged at camp. We mentioned homesickness earlier in the round table. Popping by to say hi can be helpful to some scouts, can hinder it for others. But especially on family night, which is Friday, folks can wonder about what the policies are surrounding visitors. Once again, visitors are allowed and encouraged. However, not overnight. If you are attending camp, we ask that you start by stopping in the camp office to sign in. There you'll receive a visitor's wristband so that we know you're supposed to be on the property, you're expected on the property, and you are with a group. We do ask for some notice before visitors arrive to property. If unit leaders could let one of the key three know that a visitor will be arriving, either during our adult leaders meeting each morning or in passing, that is very helpful. That helps us keep a solid count. And another note on visitors, if you are staying for a meal, we do ask that you purchase a meal ticket. Meal tickets are $8 and are available for purchase at the camp office. Moving on to incident reporting. While we do run a safe program and follow all the safety measures of Scouting America, things do happen. If there is ever an incident at camp, it is our hope and expectation that you go immediately to Silas Ray. Silas Ray is the camp director at summer camp. You will know exactly who he is and where to find him if you are attending camp this summer. If there is an issue that for whatever reason you do not feel comfortable talking about Silas or talking with Silas about, please contact Ted Carnes, our scout executive. But if you do have an incident you need to report, or even if there's something you're not sure if you need to report, it may fall in the gray area, please go to Silas or Ted immediately, it cannot hurt to report something, even if you're unsure.
Can I also add, just make sure your youth know also to make sure that they know that they can report incidents. From what I've heard, there have been a lot of increasing youth on youth incidents, and they're kind of hesitant to report them. So it's good for them to know that that's an avenue that they can take if they feel it's necessary.
Absolutely. Regarding uniform policy at camp, and this touches back on the earlier slide, but we do not have a uniform policy at camp. If the that is at the unit's discretion and with the Scouting America uniform policy. The only measures we take are safety measures. Closed-toed shoes are required at camp. Appropriate attire is required at camp, but our uniform policy falls right in line with Scouting America and with what the unit follows as well, or recommends. Really.
Just to clarify from the questions that I had when I was at Camporee, so there's no bathing suit policy other than appropriate for the activity, correct? And
Correct.
there's no flags or dinner policy other than what your unit policy is.
That is correct. We do not enforce a uniform policy at camp other than for safety measures. Certain badges or activities may require different attire, things like long pants for welding. But again, that falls in line with safety and not with a uniform policy per se. Generally, and what you will see the staff doing is wearing a full field dress to breakfast and dinner. But that is what our staff goes by. That is not necessarily meant to be put on you. Moving on to family night. Every Friday night at Scouts BSA Summer Camp is our family night. That is when we see the most visitors, and we are glad to do so. Our family night, just because it's family night doesn't mean our program stops running. Our scouts may still be wrapping up merit badges. Our areas are still hosting program that scouts and families can engage with. And our family night caps off with sort of the closing events of our sessions. That being our campfire program at the end of the week, where you'll see your scouts put on skits and songs for the camp, as well as recognition of any awards or activities that they participated in over the week. Following that, we'll all move over to the trading post for the trading post party, my personal favorite event. That is just an all-around good time. Everybody dancing, having fun, playing yard games, hanging out at the trading post. Other than meals, it's one of those few perfect moments where we get the whole camp and our visiting families together. So if you do have a scout attending summer camp this year, I would highly recommend coming by family night. And if you do, please remember our visitor policies, as well as purchasing a meal ticket for that wonderful Friday night dinner. On to our theming days this summer. We have a few days that are looking quite different than years past. First and foremost is Tiki Tuesday is no more. And that may come as a shock to some folks, but hopefully not in any bad way, as it is being replaced with Time Warp Tuesday to go along with our Rewind in 25 theme this year. So Time Warp Tuesday will be a journey through our areas and through the decades. Each of our program areas has taken up a decade. And I'm not just talking 50s, 60s, 70s. We've got some 1860s in there. We've got some 2050s in there. It is truly a journey through time. Each of our areas will be hosting a specialized, unique, and themed activity. And for any scouts that make it through each of our decades, they will get a unique prize for being a time traveler. OA Day will remain on Wednesday, but that will be looking a little different than years past with some new and exciting programs. Our call out or more recognition for all airmen, including newly elected airmen, will be at dinner on Wednesday. And that dinner will be served by Wapakan Lodge. And all of our scouts who have been newly elected will head on down to the waterfront after that for a sash and splash event. Now, I did just mention that Tiki Tuesday has gone away, but having worked at camp as long as I have and having a soft spot for tradition, I could not do away with it entirely. So that has evolved into the Lou Outpost, hosted by the Waterfront and Aquatics. Any scouts and scouters participating in the Lou Outpost will take a watercraft down Long Lake, heading over to our Area 51 for that event, and will participate in a tiki luau with the aquatic staff. And the last camp activity I would like to highlight today is Rainbow Voyagers. That is our newly reimagined Trek program. Rainbow Voyagers is split up into 3 separate outposts that are modeled after Scouting's high adventure bases. So we have one modeled after Northern Tier, Sea Base, and Philmont. Those each have a shakedown component in the afternoon that are going to be half info session, half preparation on how you would prepare for those types of high adventure activities. And the culmination of that is, of course, Scouts heading out with our Voyagers director, Macy Kroll, for the outpost, modeling all those activities, the sorts of things that you would engage in at a high adventure base like Philmont, or a higher level hiking trek. We're very excited for that. And with that, if your scout has already been to one of these high adventure bases, they feel prepared, they're more than welcome to not attend the shakedown and simply attend the outpost. And if they're only really interested in Philmont, maybe not so much things on the water, vice versa, they're free to attend just one, just two, or all 3. That is entirely at their discretion. Now, one of the questions we do get is care packages, sending items to camp. That is absolutely allowed. But we do have a few asks with that. Number one is make sure it's going to ship in time. We've gotten more than a few packages after our scouts have already left or the session has ended. So be looking at dates if you're shipping it. When you are shipping it, you can simply send it to the camp address, 2600 Winterbottom Road, Morris, Illinois. But please do make a note on there of what unit the scout is with. That helps us quite a bit when placing that package. And if you're not going to be able to ship in time, or you simply don't want to pay for the stamp, another option that some of our units have used, and this is totally up to your unit and how tightly packed that trailer or those cars are, but another option is to send it with a unit leader. Find a unit leader you trust, say, hey, give it to them on Wednesday, whatever day works for you. That is something we've had success with in the past. And lastly, here on pre-ordering swag for camp, our pre-order for some of our merchandise, shirts, and stickers has been published on the Rainbow Council social media. So to make sure you get your gear in time, please head over to the social media, check that out there.
Hey Kyle, I have one question. The theme day, so the new Time Warp Tuesday, we can't bring our Hawaiian shirts anymore. Is there something that people should be hitting up Goodwill for, or how can we dress for that?
No dress is really required as you are jumping through the decades. But if you have a particular affinity for a certain decade, a certain time, you might see me in a Dave Matthews shirt akin to the 90s. Wear whatever matches the decade you are particularly endorsing or fond of. Other than that, scouts are free to just stick in their camp gear.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions for Kyle about summer camp? Now's the time to ask.
I do have some more information I'll publish in the chat here. The program guide as well as the leaders guide are published and available on Rainbow Council social media as well as the Rainbow Council website, but I'll send them here too. And if you have any questions that you don't particularly want to ask here or may need some time to sit on, I will also send my contact information as well. I do respond to emails. I do respond to texts. However you would like to reach out, I am more than willing to work around.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. I believe
This is me. Yeah. So we had been talking about a little bit what leaders think we should bring. So I've talked to a couple leaders, just kind of a basic list. If anyone on the call would like to add anything, that would be great. Kind of, things you won't see on the packing list, but things that, tips and tricks that leaders are doing. So firstly, non-aerosol sunscreens and bug spray. We shouldn't be using those things, especially like around tents. We shouldn't be using sprays. So, do you have anything else you want to say about that, Esmeralda? I know you were talking about that before, but we should stay away.
There was a change in about the aerosols in things. The biggest thing is like, well, how is my scout going to put sunscreen on their back or whatever? It's like they do have the pump action ones, so they're resilient. They'll figure it out. But yes, that aerosol sprays is now prohibited. So do your best, and once you find those bug sprays in the sunscreen, that is the pump action, get it quick because those tend to go quick. So yeah, thermocells are good as long as it's not windy.
Yes. Yes. So some of the ideas I got from various leaders, bins, well, that one's me. I like to bring my stuff in like a Rubbermaid bin, put it in my tent, and then it's kind of like a night table too. I can put like my phone and my flashlight and stuff on it. So, and all my stuff stays dry in a bin. Fans, obviously, in your tent, bring lots of batteries. It gets hot in there. Portable chargers, in my experience, you kind of get what you pay for. So, might be good to invest in a good portable charger from Amazon. Drink mixes. Yes, Deb and Brian, love your Ryobi fan. Yes, I've heard good things about those. Drink mixes. So we try to encourage everybody to drink only water, but the RSR water can sometimes be challenging with that. So if you have to bring like Powerade mix or Crystal Light mix or something, sometimes that does help them drink what they need to be drinking. So it's better than not drinking anything. So it might be good to have in your stash. Us leaders kind of like having a cooler with ice. We keep it in our car and just kind of add some ice to our water throughout the day. Ice also helps with the water taste a little bit. So we keep that in our cars and just kind of whenever we're around the parking lot, we get some ice. Hammocks are good for the times when scouts are often at their merit badges. Work gloves also, if you like to do some service projects around camp while your scouts are busy. Thermocell for bugs. Tent mat, so that's good to have in the front of your tent so you can put your shoes on it and not bring mud and other stuff into your tent. Fishing supplies, because as leaders, we have a lot of downtime when the kids are in their classes. So also Uno/card games are good. Extra scout essentials. Someone's always going to forget something. So if you can have extra whatever, you'll probably use it eventually. So think about what kids might forget, and it might be good to have some extras with you. And then also sometimes it's fun to decorate for the campsite. Sometimes you also get points for that for the camp cup. Other times it's just fun, something else to do. So those are some ideas. Does anyone else have anything else they would add to special leader tips?
A few other things from my experience. Number one, liquid IV is a great drink mix, especially for camp when you're running around all day. That recharges you with some of those vitamins. And a few years back, I substituted some of my tent stakes for the little 99-cent outdoor lights, little stake lights that I found myself tripping over my tent quite a bit at night. And on top of that, if you are bringing a cooler with ice, we do sell ice at camp. So if you are worried about running out halfway through the week, just let the trading post know and we can help you out.
I've done glow sticks to mark where the guy lines are. That usually helps. That also is a great beacon to the bathroom, to the kaibos. So because in the middle, and then at least they can go to that's the beacon to go to the Kaibos, and they don't have to turn on their flashlight until they get into the Kaibo. So you're not waking up people because and who's walking out in the middle of the night, that type of thing. So we do a lot of those as well.
One of the great things that helped me last summer at Wood Badge was somebody suggested the Neutrogena makeup removing wipes. They're basically like baby wipes. Dude wipes also work great. It was actually a secondhand as recommendation that she recommended to somebody, they recommended to me. So I highly recommend them. They're great for actually cleaning if you're, sticky and dirty and whatever, but they also help just if you get really hot. Just wipe the back of your neck, wipe your forehead, and it helps cool you off too.
The
So, and
dollar
you can
store
get
has
a small
a
pack of them.
bunch of different kinds. And if you do like the facial wash, and it guys don't because you get that grimy feel in your face, and and it cools you off too.
Yeah, and they're not overly floral scented or anything, so it works really well to just buy a pack. And it's like a little thing like baby wipes, so it's a little pack you can have in your bag. Pop one out, and good.
Yep. So I carry one in everything possible. So the other thing I also do is I carry Lysol wipes for when you're about midweek and you go to the flushies. Well, you don't need to go to the flushies, and certain scouts tend to miss during the day and they didn't get a chance to clean it. So,
A scout wouldn't do that. Never.
hey, okay, fine. A scout or scouter.
I was teasing.
And it's not just the boys that I'm talking about either. So just to kind of, that's another thing that I always kind of carry with me as well. So, all right. Anything else? Any other questions?
One more note for me. I am going to have to take off at 8. So if there are any summer camp questions, please shoot away. But otherwise, my contact information is in the chat.
Wonderful.
Please email, call, text whenever you'd like.
Okay. Thank you, Kyle, for coming. And we will see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah. All right. The other thing is camp culture, common phrases, area chants, songs. You want to chime in on that real quick, child, before you?
Actually, we have other reinforcements on who are prepared to talk about that.
Oh, never mind then, Kyle. So you don't.
I mean, he can, but it's okay if he has to go. But so we were just thinking, the great thing about RSR is the culture and the energy and the staff. And so I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. So some of the common phrases that we all know and we kind of use even outside of camp is, stuff like good evening, good evening, Roundtable.
Good evening.
I think that all went wrong.
Evening.
Good evening, Beth.
Hayden.
How's everybody doing today?
Fantastic. Terrific. Groovy all day long.
Perfect. Yes. So those are the kind of things that most of us who've been to camp have seen those things. I just think they're really cool and they have a lot of energy. So another thing that happens when we are at camp are the area.
Uh-oh, she froze. Or did I freeze? I think she froze.
I think weather's starting to move in all over the place.
Right. So, so she was just basically talking about how the different program areas have their own little theme chants and call outs and things like that. So I'm not sure where she was going with that, but I believe that's what she was about to say.
Yes, she was going to talk about like aquatics.
Where's your paddle?
The kitchen.
Let them cook.
Steam and eco.
Molly. Eva.
Handicraft.
The shop is hopping.
Scoutcraft.
Where scouters get it done.
Pathfinders.
5 miles.
Cope.
Sky Lifeguard.
And the Trading Post.
We all scream for ice cream.
There you go. So some things that if you as adult leaders to encourage a lot of participation to our youth is we lead by example. So if we can have those under our belts and kind of help out those scout camp, the scout staff, that would be amazing. And then it's more of a buy-in to the youth. So, and then some of the songs that we always do over at during the campfire. So obviously the RSR song, right? And then we have Vespers. So look those up and we'll go on from there. Oh, Beth, you're back.
I'm back. I lost power right when I started talking. We did have Riker and Caleb had one song they wanted to share with us.
All right, go ahead, Riker, Caleb.
All right. Good evening, Roundtable.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Riker and Caleb.
I love the energy. All right. How are we all doing this evening?
Fantastic. Terrific. Groovy all day long. Huh.
All right. I'm also all of those things. So today, me and Caleb here, we're going to be singing one of our favorite songs.
It's my favorite song too. Riker, Shalahida, and Caleb, Dale.
All right, this song is a repeat after me song.
This song is a repeat after me song.
So Caleb will be there. He'll be repeating with you as well.
So Caleb will be there repeating with you as well.
All right. One fat hen.
One fat hen.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks.
One fat hen,
a couple of ducks.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines.
One fat hen, couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon Selling Sultans I am.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon Selling Sultans I am.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon Selling Sultans I am. 7 salty sailors singing certain silly songs.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon Selling Sultans I am. 7 salty sailors singing certain silly songs.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon Selling Sultans I am. 7 salty sailors singing certain silly songs. 8 elongated elephants being elevated on an elevator.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon Selling Sultans I am. 7 salty sailors singing certain silly songs. 8 elongated elephants being elevated on an elevator.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon Selling Sultans I am. 7 salty sailors singing certain silly songs. 8 elongated elephants being elevated on an elevator. 9 nose embryos nibbling on 9 nose embryots.
One fat hen, a couple of ducks.
3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat, fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon selling sultans I am. 7 salty sailors singing certain silly songs. 8 elongated elephants being elevated on an elevator. 9 nose embryos nibbling on 9 nose embryos. 1 fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon selling sultans I am. 7 salty sailors singing certain silly songs. 8 elongated elephants being elevated on an elevator. 9 nose embryos nibbling on 9 nose embryos. 10 two-ton trucks trucking 2 tons of Tesco True Tests from Tallahassee, Tennessee to Tyler, Texas on 22 terrible tires on Tuesday the 22nd, 2022. 1 fat hen, a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fat fidgety felines. 6 simple Simon selling sultans I am. 7 salty sailors singing certain silly songs. 8 elongated elephants being elevated on an elevator. 9 nose embryos nibbling on 9 nose embryos. 10 two-ton trucks trucking 2 tons of Tesco True Tests from Tallahassee, Tennessee to Tyler, Texas on 22 terrible tires on Tuesday the 22nd, 2022. Yay!
Yay.
All right. Another thing we wanted to bring up real quick. So again, I'm Riker. This summer I will be working in the kitchen as the chef de partie. So you'll see me serving food in the dining hall, doing all that kind of stuff. Thank you, Caleb. Caleb, care to introduce yourself?
You see, my name is Caleb Dale, and I will be working in the esteemed, lovely area known as Handicraft.
The shop is hopping.
So yeah, and I'm also here with my boy Riker, as already previously stated.
All right. So basically, in the order of the arrow, we have a team. We have the promotions team full of very many excited. Sorry, the storm's pretty loud. Full of excited staff members who are ready to go out to your Cub Scout packs, your troops, your crews, and they'll do basically what we just did to you guys. They'll do a song, do a skit. They'll basically hype up summer camp, try to get more people excited about going. And really, yeah, that's it. So if you're ever interested in that, please let someone like Miss Hayden know, Hillary Shalahida. I'll be one of the co-chairs. So please, if you have any questions at all, please let us know. Speaking of which, any questions at this time regarding that? All right, that sounds great. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Riker and Caleb. Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Without taking up too much more time, but we just also need to promote Cub Scout summer camp, as well as resident camp. So our day camps are going to start up pretty quick. We have June 9th through the 12th, and that's at Bolingbrook. New Lenox is June 23rd to the 26th. We have a Twilight camp in Kankakee from July 8th to the 10th, as well as the one in Morris from July 14th to the 17th. And then a Lion Twilight camp is also in Morris. Our resident camps for Rebuild and residents is on July 18th to the 21st, as well as July 25th to the 28th. And these wonderful people that you see at summer camp, and I'm sure Riker and Caleb are in that too. I'm hoping, because they bring up the hype, will also be there, as well as the Cub Scout Family Camp August 1st to the 4th. Do not delay. We don't want anything to get canceled, so make sure you get your units or scouts to register as soon as possible. So there is an incentive that if you register 50% of your camp, of your pack for summer camp, one member will win a full refund of their camp fee. I like this. I like this a lot.
And that's any camp. They can be signed up for any camp. They don't have to be the same camps. Just 50% of your pack needs to be registered for some type of camp.
Yeah. If you have any questions, you can always call the Scout office, or you can, there's phone number here. There's a website right here. There's anywhere that you can try to find, or your number one resource for all information, you ask your commissioner. Go figure. Last but not least, our next roundtable, we are taking a hiatus sort of in June and July, because we'll be commissioning and doing roundtable at camp. So come see us there. But our next roundtable will be virtual on August 14th. Some people might be thinking, but wait, isn't that your Dutch oven? Yes, we will have our Dutch oven, but not until September. That will be in person. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And I stopped recording. I stopped recording too.